Set that up. Okay, there we go. It's working. Okay, so with that, without further ado, let's go. Monsters vs. Cookies by Leon Oscar Kidando. Press H for how to play. Yes. WASD or arrow keys to move. Okay. J or X to throw spoons. K or C to sprint. Tip: destroys microwaves first. Oh, this is really well animated. Aha. Defeated. Press R to restart. Yeah. Yeah, alright. Yeah, okay. Oh no! Alright, there are 6 microwaves. No! Alright, well, the invincibility frames was cool there. Oh, no. Alright. There's no way to recover health, that's good to know. You throw a bunch of axes, that's good to know. At least I know where the 2 other microwaves are at this point. What? Microwaves around here, right? Yep. Okay, that's interesting that running is a resource, basically, in this game. It's your most offensive move, by the way, so that would make a lot of sense. Okay. I understand the developer's mentality now. Yoink. Yoink. Oh. Oh man, that was close. You win! 1! Past tense. Thanks for playing. Made for Ludum 33. Press to go to the menu. Alright, that was cool. I kind of like that for what it was. I like the music, actually. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I liked it. Could use a little bit more polish in a few places, largely like any sort of like hit pauses, flashes. It was hard to tell whether I was actually hitting an enemy or not. I think there was a sound effect for that, and I also found it hard to tell when an enemy actually hit me. I couldn't tell if you had a temporary invincibility. No, you do have temporary invincibility, but there was no indication of how long that temporary invincibility lasted, so that would have been a little more useful too. But overall, I like the one concept that I thought was surprisingly well fleshed out, and I kind of liked it, was the idea of this energy system you have for running away from enemies. I thought that was genuinely clever. In a lot of games there's some sort of deflection or block move, but in this case you instead opted for the runaway move, which was really honestly a lot more engaging from a design perspective than at least from the gameplay perspective, than I originally expected. So I actually like that part of the game. Obviously, you drop a lot of cookies per enemy, so it's easy to loot. It's easy to start winning once you got all the microwaves down. But even then, I kind of like that system. That your defensive move is running away from enemies, and that you have this really easy way of doing so. So that was really cool. So let's talk about this. Innovation. Not exactly the most innovative game per se. It's very top-down shoot, beat 'em up kind of thing. But what I did like again was this energy system where your defensive move was running away from enemies and even bullet shots as a consequence of that. So I kind of like that. I thought it was pretty decently fun. Actually, I had a little more fun than I expected it to. Thought it was pretty decently fun. The theme, Cookie Monster. Yeah, it's a nice interpretation. Not quite what I expected. That's good. The graphics were serviceable. There wasn't anything that was immediately terrible, or that I thought was immediately terrible. Arguably, the ground, there could have been a little more spices on the ground and on the walls, but I'm fine for now. Yeah, I'm just gonna stick with 4 stars. The music is good, but the sound effects are really repetitive. So one thing that I personally like to do when it comes to like sound effects is have it so that I kind of randomize the pitch every time we play the sound effect. So I would recommend using a similar technique for that. There wasn't really any humor behind it. I guess like there's some visual gags like this pentagram or whatever, but mostly I didn't particularly think any of this game was meant to be all that funny. But so yeah, mood. Kind of average. The music was really cool. I liked that, and that's where it worked well from a gameplay perspective, where it integrated well. The graphics were not as haptic, like not as invigorating as the music was. So I feel a little bad that was like the only part, that was like the weakest part of the game for me. But yeah, I mean that's just kind of like my opinion on that. I thought it was pretty good though. Actually, I had fun with this game, and I actually thought that it had some pretty clever. It had one clever mechanic in it that I'm willing to give a little more credit for. So yeah, I thought this was really cool. Pretty fun game. I liked the I liked that running away is your defensive system that has limited fuel. It led to some really tight situations. Ideal for these kind of action games. Personally, I found the graphics to be weakest. Specifically, when it came to feedback and repetitiveness. For feedback, it was hard to tell when I got hit and how long I remained invincible after I got hit. Similarly, I think some extra visual feedback when hitting the enemies would have helped. For repetitiveness, the ground and the walls could use a bit of spice. Maybe some chalk drawing, trash cans, or pebbles. That's about it. As mentioned earlier, I like the game, so cool.